Welcome to the second Supernatural Scotland podcast, presented by me, Mark Smith. Please like my page on Facebook where you can send me suggestions for locations or share your own stories, which I would love to hear and may use in future podcasts. You can also view my videos on YouTube. Scotland is ancient, and you could throw a dart at a map and find somewhere haunted or with a spooky story. Join us as we discuss some spooky places and the strange creatures of Scotland. Our first location today is Rosslyn Chapel, Mid Lothian. This is located near Edinburgh. It's an ancient chapel rumoured to be haunted by several spirits, as to be fair would be expected of any ancient chapel. You do have to pay to get into the grounds, but it is worth it as it's a beautiful location and it has a strange atmosphere. They also still hold services on a Sunday, so if you are religious, two birds, one stone. I believe this was also used in the movie with Tom Hanks called The Da Vinci Code, well worth a watch. The chapel is also decorated inside and outside with the Green Man, and you can try to find all around about 100 of them on the grounds. Motorists and people walking the area have seen a black knight on horseback. Now that would be an impressive but freaky sight. The story goes he was killed in battle hundreds of years ago. And of course, no old haunted location would be complete without a lady in white, who has been known to freak out tourists over the years. My mum actually lived near here and used to tell me about a story of a lady in white who used to haunt a road near Rosslyn Chapel. A few years ago, a group of actors were practicing in the chapel for a play. One claimed to have seen a fairy-like figure in the grounds of the building. At night, when they were locking up, one of the actors heard a child crying in the crypt. On inspection of the crypt, no living person was down there. There has even been a mention of a ghostly dog wandering the grounds on stormy nights. You can hear its ghostly barking. Monks used to visit the chapel to pray, and apparently one ghostly monk continues to visit to pray till this day with a few sightings. The chapel really is a great place to visit, with all these spirits and an odd creature to possibly catch. Our second location is Culloden Battlefield. On 1746, thousands of clansmen were cut down, and the army of Bonnie Prince Charlie was defeated. This ended the Jacobite rebellion. This is a place scarred forever with a brutal battle and the many dead soldiers. The battle took place on the 16th of April 1746, Dromuse Moor near Inverness. Bonnie Prince Charlie ignored advice and chose a defensive action to confront the enemy on the battlefield. To do battle here was a terrible and huge mistake. They left themselves open to artillery. The artillery decimated the Jacobite lines. They waited for the enemy to charge. However, this did not happen. The Redcoats realised the bombardment was very successful and so continued to fire. Many Jacobites fell. The enemy then charged and destroyed the front line. It was all too late for the Jacobites, and after losing many more men, began to retreat and escorted the prince away from the battlefield. Around 1,500 Jacobites were slain, and only a small amount of Redcoats died. Bonnie Prince Charles spent the next 5 months on the run. Flora MacDonald smuggled him to Skye, and this is where the Skye boat song comes from. It is said you can still hear the battle cries, the clanging of swords, and the gunshots echoing out. Some have even seen the shadows battling in the mist. It is an eerie place, a cold place, and a sad place to visit. If you do visit this battlefield, listen out carefully, as you never know what you might hear or see. It's now time for our creature feature. Let's talk will-o'-the-wisps. These are depicted as mischievous spirits, or sometimes fairies, or even ghosts of the dead looking to lead travellers off their path and to their death. The lights appear close to a dangerous route in hopes of catching a weary traveller off guard and then leading them to their death. They often appear as fiery light at night, which may look like a candle or lantern. Some believe them to be lost souls, or even the devil himself tricking travellers. Others believe them to be an omen of a tragedy. Some may recognise them from the Disney movie Brave. In this movie, in typical Disney fashion, they are shown to be kind and helpful. However, in Scottish folklore, this is really not the case. So if you happen to go off the beaten path and get lost, be careful of any candlelight you may see out there in the darkness or fog, for it may be a will-o'-the-wisp. Our second creature is the Slough. These were evil, menacing creatures believed to be evil spirits from Scottish and Irish folklore. The restless souls of the dead who were not properly buried or who committed heinous crimes. They look like a flock of mangled birds who fly through the skies in the darkness, looking for people's souls to steal away. They are believed to live in dangerous and remote locations. The spirits would fly in through an open window or door left ajar. They would fly over the dying, ready to steal their soul. Eerie whispers would be heard, whilst the demons worked away at stealing the soul of the dying. The spirit would be captured within the flock, and terrified screams would echo through the home and in the darkness outside. The soul would be cursed to fly the night skies forever with the flock. They could be fought off by reciting prayers or carrying iron or salt. So always keep these close, just in case. I think that might be one of the most messed up and scary things that I think I've ever heard from Scottish folklore. So the window will be closed tonight. And that is the end of our second podcast. Remember to follow us on Facebook. Send me any suggestions you may have, or any messages if you want to ask me anything. And of course, I have some videos on a YouTube channel which I hope to add to soon. If you could subscribe, like, make any comments, feel free to share any suggestions or stories. Until next time, goodbye.